When Honda builds a new motorcycle, the world listens, especially when it carries three sacred letters, XRL. And in 2026, Honda has brought back something that feels both new and nostalgic. The all-new Honda XR300L, a machine built not for showrooms, but for the trails, for the wild, for the riders who live between dust and horizon. The moment you see it, the XR300L demands respect. It's tall, slim, muscular, and unmistakably Honda. The design speaks the language of adventure: long front suspension travel, a sharp beak-style front fender, a sculpted 11.8-liter fuel tank, and that classic XR dual-tone finish that blends matte red with metallic white. The proportions are perfect, aggressive enough to conquer mountain trails, yet compact enough to weave through city streets with agility. But beneath the skin lies the heart of this reborn legend, a brand new 298cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine, developed from the CRF lineage, tuned for reliability, torque, and smooth power delivery. It's fuel-injected, DOHC and Euro 6 compliant, delivering a claimed 32 horsepower and 27 Nm of torque. Numbers that may not sound extreme, but when you twist the throttle, you realize this bike is all about usable power. Strong at the bottom, thrilling in the mid-range, and clean all the way to redline. Honda didn't just build another dual sport, they built a weapon for those who want to ride every single day, on-road, off-road, or beyond roads altogether. The XR300L rides on a steel semi-double cradle frame, engineered for toughness and flex balance. The suspension setup is pure off-road magic. A 43mm Showa inverted fork up front, with 250 mm of travel and a Pro-Link rear shock offering 240 meters. Together, they soak up everything, rocks, ruts, curbs, to even city potholes, with the calm confidence only an XR can give. The seat height? A commanding 818 meters, giving you a wide, upright view of the terrain. The handlebars are slightly raised, the foot pegs are grippy steel, and the controls feel mechanical. No over-sanitized electronics here. The XR300L wants you to ride, not scroll through modes, and that's where the magic lies. In a world obsessed with TFT screens and riding modes, the XR300L goes old school where it matters. Simplicity that works. You still get ABS, but it's switchable for the rear wheel. You get LED lighting, a digital display, and USB-C charging, but Honda kept it minimalist and rugged. The screen shows speed, gear, clock, and trip meters. Everything you need, nothing you don't. On tarmac, the bike feels surprisingly civilized. The gearing is well spaced, the clutch is light, and the engine hums with a refined thump. At 110 km/h cruising speed, it's smooth and steady, making highway stretches effortless. But the moment you exit the asphalt and hit dirt, the XR300L transforms. That's where it comes alive. You stand on the pegs, feel the suspension breathe under you, and sense the grip of those 21-inch front and 18-inch rear wheels wrapped in dual-purpose tires. The throttle response is instant. The front end light and the rear digs into gravel like it's born there. You point it anywhere, and it follows without hesitation. It's not just performance, it's personality. The XR300L feels alive, responsive, and human. You can sense the road, feel the traction, and hear the heartbeat of that single-cylinder pulse. It's the kind of machine that connects with you in a way modern bikes often forget. Braking duties are handled by a 286mm front disc with a dual-piston caliper and a 240mm rear disc, offering strong feedback and modulation. With the dual-channel ABS system, it stays composed on all surfaces. And when you turn off the rear ABS in off-road mode, the bike slides beautifully under control. Honda engineers have fine-tuned the weight balance too. At 145 kilograms, it's light enough to pick up if you drop it, but stable enough to feel planted on the highway. The center of gravity is low, and the narrow profile lets you flick it effortlessly through technical trails. The exhaust note deserves its own moment, a deep, refined growl with just the right aggression. It's not loud, it's not silent, it's purposeful. Every crack of the throttle echoes Honda's dirt legacy from the 80s and 90s, when XR meant freedom. Now let's talk about the comfort. Honda has worked wonders here. The XR300L seat is redesigned with dual-density foam, striking the perfect balance between softness for long rides and firmness for off-road control. Combined with excellent ergonomics, you can ride this bike for hours without fatigue. Fuel economy, around 33 km per litre, depending on terrain. That gives you a realistic range of nearly 380 kilometers, making it ideal for weekend adventure tours and daily commutes alike. Honda's focus on practicality continues with a rear luggage rack, optional handguards and a quick detach wind deflector. For those who want to tour, there's an adventure kit, pannier mounts, engine bash plate, knuckle guards and even a rally-style windscreen. But more than specs and accessories, what defines the XR300L is emotion. It's not just about speed or features. It's about the feeling of exploration, the kind that starts when you see a dusty trail splitting from the highway and your instinct whispers, "Let's find out where that goes." The XR300L isn't trying to be a superbike, or a rally monster or a commuter. It's a blend, a rare middle ground where capability meets comfort, and where simplicity feels revolutionary again. In terms of competition, the XR300L stands up against bikes like the Yamaha WR250R, the Kawasaki KLX300, and the KTM 390 Adventure. But where those chase performance or tech, the Honda sticks to reliability, balance, and real-world usability. It may not have the biggest engine or the fanciest electronics, but it's built to last decades, not seasons, and that's the beauty of it. You can abuse it, crash it, fix it with basic tools, and it'll still get up for more. It's a bike that doesn't just transport you, it transforms you. Because the XR300L makes you ride, really ride, not for likes or trophies, but for that deep, personal connection with the road, the dirt, and yourself. In the world of adventure bikes that are getting heavier, more expensive, and more complicated, Honda's 2026 XR300L feels like a breath of pure mountain air. It's not here to impress you with gadgets, it's here to remind you why you fell in love with motorcycles in the first place. The 2026 Honda XR300L is expected to launch globally at around 5,000 $5,000, placing it perfectly between the smaller CRF250L and the upcoming CRF450L. In markets like Asia and South America, it's expected to dominate, not because it's the fastest, but because it's the most dependable. And that's Honda's secret. Not chasing hype, but building trust. One rev, one corner, one trail at a time. So when you swing your leg over the new XR300L, you don't just start a bike, you start a story. A story of freedom, dirt, wind, and adventure. A story only Honda can tell, and only riders like you can live, because sometimes the road less traveled. There's exactly where the legend begins again.